Hello, hello. Hello, hello everyone. We are back with yet another Danganronpa stream. Hello, the famous Preggy. Ruko, why?
Shut up.
Why, Ruko, why? Just why?
Oh my god.
Someone snip that and put it in chat quotes because that needs to be immortalized forever.
Oh no, it's not immortalized, it's Preggy.
Preggy.
The wrong person.
And there goes another thing on the list of things we are never going to let Ruko live down, ever. So sorry I took so long, everyone. Sorry it took so long. I know it took a long time. It's because I was getting a surprise ready. Are you ready? Are you ready for the surprise trap? Are you ready?
I feel like Star slightly forgot what it was mid-sentence.
What? The surprise?
Oh, this changed.
No, I know what it is.
Yeah, they changed the /V.
Boom.
It was...
Star can now control things with her hands. If, you know, I can increase the size of this at all. No, game says no. Can I make it big? No, game says no. Game says no. Okay, that's fine. Game says no. Yeah, I don't like that either. I don't like it either.
I want my colored text back.
It makes
Yeah.
two of us. Alright, are we ready? I have a fancy new controller now, so you can see when I actually click on things and stuff. You can actually see it move. Pretty cool, I think. I think it's pretty cool. It should be working, yeah? Yeah, it's working. Yeah, so you can actually see it move around, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, I have to.
The question is, will it actually be yeeted when you actually yeet your
I'm
controller?
not gonna yeet the controller. Okay, what were we doing?
We had to talk to 3 more people.
We had to do...
We have to talk to Aoi. We have to talk to Byakuya.
And the CD.
And we have to do the audiovisual room CD.
Well,
Right.
Byakuya is here, so I guess we can talk to him.
Which is in the library.
The
Where is
library.
he?
Where did... That's
Well, you
not the
passed.
right direction. I was just testing you guys. A pair of glowing eyes is staring at you. Where's the glowing eyes? Is it me?
Why are you testing us? You're the one playing. We're just voice acting.
Well, I gotta keep you on your toes.
If I want to be cutting my toes, I'll go play Dark Souls.
I'd rather stay on my ass if you don't mind.
I mean, there's plenty of monsters in there that would do that.
Oh, Byakuya! Listen, do you think we could talk? Byakuya?
That's enough.
I have nothing to talk to you. Don't talk to me as if we're friends.
Well, guys, you wanted to talk to Byakuya. Here you go.
Hey, Byakuya, wait!
Man, not even 30 seconds and I'm...
Already hating Byakuya?
I think it's a new record.
Horizon's like, and I'm done.
But
I
of
guess.
course he didn't. He just walked away.
Yeah, where's the...
What the? Why was he acting like that? Like he was purposely trying to avoid me.
Probably because he was.
I wanna grab some water real quick because I'm professional and I haven't grabbed a drink.
That's fine. You, of course, you need the most water out of all of us.
Yum.
I was testing you. I was testing chat. Chat failed. Alright, let's watch the DVD.
I should be able to play DVDs just fine. Well then, I'd better take a look. I took the DVD Kyoko gave me and put it in the player. It said it was playing, but nothing appeared on screen. I stared into the black of the monitor. It must have only been a few seconds. But to me it felt like an eternity. And then, all of a sudden, an image appeared.
Oh, that's new.
Sayaka?
Okay then, that's different.
Okay, yep. That's...
Oh boy, that's a throwback.
The devs didn't forget her model?
It took me by total surprise. I haven't seen Sayaka in who knows how long. And there she was.
Okay, then.
Don't worry,
Are you ready
we
to
agree
begin?
on something for once.
The voice I heard was of the man positions on one side of the screen. It was the voice of a middle-aged man.
I do apologize, but I hope you don't mind if I record our conversation. I'm a little slow, you know. I never really got the hang of taking notes while having a conversation.
It sounded like he was trying to make a joke, but Sayaka's tense face didn't move a single millimeter.
So this video is meant to serve as a kind of contract substitute. It's not that I don't trust you guys. It's more like insurance. So please don't worry too much. Now then, let me get straight to the point. There is a chance that you may have to spend the rest of your life here in the school. Can you accept that?
Who?
Oh, that's
Who
right, it
was
was me.
Sayaka?
Oh, that's right, it was me.
Everyone's like,
Oh yeah, no, it was
we're
me.
just sitting there
Cause
like,
I
who?
was, cause it was her and Junko. Remember? Cause then I got really pissed at Arya. Cause I was like, wow, after the first
Yeah, 'cause
chapter,
you
I'm
lost
down to one
Two in the
character.
first chapter.
One
yeah.
character.
Yeah.
After
No,
the
what are you
first
talking
chapter.
about? What are you talking about? It's Ruka.
Tsuruka. Sure.
Ruka's like, I don't
Oh,
know that.
just wait.
Oh boy. You want
Just
me
wait
to
is right.
accept that?
Sayaka was obviously at a total loss. It made total sense. Who would agree to spending the rest of your life in this school?
Accept.
What?
Thank you. And I'm sorry about all this. Well, I can promise you that I will do everything in my power to keep you safe. As the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, I give you my word.
Well, he did a damn good job at that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Talk is cheap. As if on cue, that's where the video cut out.
No wonder that Kyoko was the only one in that room that didn't give a damn. Because you remember, everyone else was batshit like, what the fuck? And Kyoko's just sitting there like,
There was a lot I didn't understand up till now. But this, only this. I simply couldn't comprehend what I heard. Because I know how much Sayaka wanted to get out of here. I know how much she wanted to escape and pursue her dreams with her friends again. She wanted it so bad. She tried to frame me for murder. So why? Why would she say yes to living here for the rest of her life? As I sat there, thinking about it, I noticed a sudden light.
It is murder school, and we're at the end of murder school, and we're figuring out the mystery of murder school. And there's been murder.
We know who hasn't done it because they're all dead. On the monitor, the video that I thought was finished flashed back on screen. My eyes darted back to the screen. And if I was confused before, what I saw next pushed me right over the edge. Huh? What I
okay.
saw was me.
Okay then.
Impossibly, undeniably, me.
So, Makoto, before we begin, I should let you know that I'll be recording our conversation.
Yes.
Me and the headmaster were looking at each other. He and I were having what seemed like a fairly normal conversation.
What kind of conversation is normal where you're recorded?
A television show?
Television.
True, but that's still TV. It's still
Government
acting.
stuff.
We are watching a DVD right now, so it's basically TV.
I mean, we're having a normal conversation right now that's being recorded.
Mm-hmm. Also true.
That's true. That's true. That's what Joe's saying.
Exactly, Fergus.
But the I in the here and now,
That's true.
had absolutely no memory of it. I had no memory of even meeting the headmaster, but much less sitting down to talk to him like this.
Now, shall we get straight to the point? Makoto, there's a chance you may have to spend the rest of your life here in the school. Can you accept that?
Yes.
This can be real. I said yes?
I'm sorry I'm putting you through all this.
Well, I mean, we don't have much of a choice, do we?
But I promise that as long as you're in this school, I will do everything I can to protect you. As the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, that's the very least I can do for you.
Well,
Yeah,
considering
do
you
a
were the
good
first
job.
one dead. The fat load that did.
Once again, the video cut out. From there, the video repeated the same scene again and again with the others. Byakuya,
You get to just name everyone now.
Choco, Kina, everyone.
We don't care about the ones that are dead,
Seriously.
except for.
Except for Sayaka in the beginning. They all said that they agreed to live in this school forever. And then Kyoko. Her interview with him had been recorded just as clearly. Without a doubt, she had met him. She'd sat down with the headmaster of Hope Speak Academy, her father. And when he asked her his question, she answered the same as everyone else. She accepted a life within the school. Just as Kyoko, the interview was wrapping up, the monitor suddenly went black. Huh? It wasn't just a monitor, the DVD player itself had apparently turned off. Which of course meant that the DVD wasn't playing anymore. What the heck just happened?
Say what?
Oopsie! Looks like it broke out of service.
What? It just happened to break just now?
Too bad.
Now then, when? Doesn't matter. Failure can strike anywhere, anytime. That's what failure is, right?
Failure my ass. You got the power on purpose. Well, whatever. Even if I watched the whole thing, I'd just be more of the same. He'd ask the same question, and they'd all say yes. I couldn't help myself. I let out a huge, exasperated sigh. But as I did, I remembered something.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation with myself, a disconnect.
It would seem.
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was.
But what would make you forget all that?
Hey,
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. Seems much too convenient.
A convenient outcome. Something that seemed to obviously work in favor of the mastermind. So does that mean I've lost my memory too? What about the others? Have we all forgotten? Or
Interview DVD has been updated. Why? Why do you do this? Why?
we haven't talked to Hina yet.
For anything that has a start, there has to be an end. And if the end comes, then that means it's time for a fresh start. There is no night that doesn't have a dawn. Although that dawn is totally pitch black, there is no storm that won't eventually end. Of course, then that leads to drought. But as I said, every end is the promise of a new beginning. Which is why I'm sure we'll get to meet again, because the end is only the beginning. Anyway, let's get started.
I don't wanna.
The beginning of the end of the class trial. Everyone gather once again at you
Why?
know where.
But we haven't talked to everyone yet.
Unless, I don't know.
If you were to have spoken to Hina, she would give you the same reaction as both Byakuya and Hero. Freaked out and refuses to talk to you.
Okay.
It's
Good
about to
to know.
begin again. Class trial is going to start. Final class trial. Last time all our lives will be on the line. The last time hope and despair are on the line. I don't have a choice. I have to do this. Okay then. This is the end.
This is the end, you guys.
This is the beginning of the end. This is
the
it.
beginning
You guys
of
have got
the
this.
end.
I guess I'm the first one this time.
Makoto.
You're early, Makoto.
Listen.
Does that mean you feel prepared?
Yeah, for now at least. Where's everyone else? Why aren't they here yet?
However,
Don't worry, I'm sure they'll be here soon.
And just like she said. Byakuya! Byakuya? They arrived, one after another. But they were all in the same state of shock. Hina? Hero? Silence.
I forget what they're shocked about, because I don't think it was initially Makoto coming back.
No,
No,
was
it was
the picture
the
they
picture.
found that Monokuma gave them.
Yeah, the
Oh.
picture where Makoto wasn't in the picture.
Yeah.
And it wasn't any normal silence. It was a deafening silence of fear and suspicion. It was like first class trial.
You called for me, and so I appear.
Yeah, I'm late.
I'm on
Jung's Silent Master is so wonderful, so cool, so hot. My loins are ablaze.
Okay, crazy. Calm down.
Now listen, everything will be just fine if you leave it to me.
my beautiful scissors.
With my scissor sharp scissors in hand, I'll stab and gouge and shiv the master of evil.
But I thought you couldn't kill anyone but adorable little boys.
If it's what master wants, it can be boy, girl, or anything in between. I can handle it. Where am I?
whew.
Which can describe the disappointment I'm feeling right now.
That is actually
Kyoko just saying it like it is.
That's actually a sentence that Deadly would say.
That's yep.
I feel like I have heard her say that.
I mean, yeah, you just did.
Is everyone here? Oh, and wearing our gloomy gust faces, I see.
Well now.
Okay, well then, let's begin.
Thrills, chills, kills.
The final class trial is going to be slathered in pitch black despair, maximum sorrow.
That's fine.
You're right. This is the final class trial. And this time, it'll be fair.
How strange.
What do you mean, this time? Stop it with all the slander. I'm a bear in good standing, you know.
Unbelievable.
If there was a Mr. Fair Guy Universe contest, I'd take home the tiara every year.
Nope.
I'm gonna win this game super fair and square.
Today, I'm feeling.
And I'll make sure everyone watching at home knows. The despair is mightier than the hope.
Stop talking.
Enough of your tedious dribble. Begin the trial already.
Sure. Let's begin the trial already. I'll be waiting for you down below.
You guys.
So don't try and run away.
Laughing as loud as ever, Monokuma disappeared.
Whatever.
In the name of my family.
This will be over in no time.
With an inexplicable confidence, Byakuya was the first into the elevator. One by one, the others followed. Nobody made eye contact. Nobody said a word. They just disappeared into the elevator.
Hey,
Oh, jeez.
They are all acting odd. Like they're paranoid, suspicious of each other.
however,
But you know why that is, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
however,
Well, you can tell us about it soon. At the class trial.
You're right. I'm ready.
so
Ready to win, right?
Of course.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
And then Kyoko was aboard the elevator.
Alright, let's go.
I'm wondering if Monokuma showed pictures of the one who sees the picture is not in the picture.
No, I think Makoto is missing out in all of them, because that's why everybody is now suspicious of Makoto.
Fair.
Everyone
I
is
started making
sus.
my way toward the opening. Step after step toward the gaping maw. It resolved that this would be the last time. I'd resolved that this would be the last time. I repeated to myself that there was no fear, no mystery left. I pushed the anxiety down, calmed my trembling body. And finally, on steady legs,
Noko, hoi hoi. Hello, how are you? Can I get a shout out for Junoko, please?
I passed the threshold and stood in the elevator.
Stream elements, why do you hate me? Why do you... Hold on one moment. Maybe the bot's down?
You might need to reconnect it to your channel because of the name switch.
That might be it. Although the bot worked
Fuck
Monday.
the bot, I'll do it myself.
There we go. Okay, hopefully. I logged back into my account on stream elements. I logged off and logged back in, so hopefully that'll help. Hopefully that does it. Jimmy Silver. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
Nope, bot still says no.
But still says no. Of course it does, because why wouldn't it?
I know a bunch of bots have been having issues because of the freaking me change, even though some of them don't use it.
Yeah, my bot's been acting up as well.
Oh well. We tried. Can we just eat the butt? Yes.
Hope you're feeling better, Noko.
Yee.
Yeah, we hope you're feeling okay, Noko. We're all here for you.
We miss you.
Come hang out more.
Without warning, we began to descend. Deeper and deeper. Deeper, deeper, deeper still. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Deeper and deeper it fell.
Dare to go deeper.
I closed my eyes and sight fell away. I wonder why, Makoto. All sound too disappeared. That's not normal.
Did you put your hand over your ears?
Alone in the universe. I waited for the elevator doors to open for the last time. Well, if they open for the last time, how are you gonna go back up?
Exactly. Arya,
Moron.
does Protag 2 get any better?
He is nowhere near as stupid, mostly because he knows he's an idiot. Which makes him less of an idiot. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, he knows what he knows, but he doesn't make the stupid comments that Makoto does, because he knows that doing so would be making a stupid comment. Like, he's just straight up like, I have no idea what's going on, or what I'm doing.
So basically I can go, the entire stream.
Well, it would, but Horizon has Protag in number 2.
Ooh,
Yes.
Horizon can go,
Yes.
I'm Protag.
Except
Horizon
one.
has
I'm
Protag for
sorry.
number 2.
I'm sorry, Granola. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go down here in shame. I'm gonna go hide in shame now. I'm gonna hide in shame. Clearly I need to learn Live 2D. Hell yeah. No, I've been wanting to learn rigging actually. So if you learn art, I'll learn rigging. We can be a team.
Yeah, Perk is beginning. It's starting to become brighter and brighter each day.
Pergus, go bed. It's really late for you. Go bed. Yeah. We all believe in you.
What could have been seconds or centuries later. Really? Centuries? I felt the gentle vibration of the elevator come to an end. The doors opened and revealed 5 skeletons? I slowly opened my eyes.
Go bed. That's all you're here. I know, but go bed.
This is the final trial site?
What do you think? Isn't it just the perfect background for deciding a person's fate? It's the long-awaited last stage, the always exciting final boss battle.
Where are we at? Near now?
And I'm gonna sit in on this one. I'll just sit right here in the vacant 16th seat.
That doesn't seem sus at all. Finally coming down to join the common folk, are you, Monokuma?
Join us, plebs.
What you doing calling me sus? No such thing as sus.
Yes, sus. Also, Horizon, I'll have you know, I rage quit Genshin today.
What you do?
I didn't get Yanfei.
Sacrifice Venti and D-Look at everything.
Arya even gave me $30 to put in.
I did.
Which I still didn't get Yanfei. No, I got
Yeah.
Noelle. Again.
I don't know what I keep putting away on the banner.
It's the universe telling you to stop spending money.
Wait, that was Arya's money, not my money.
Still spending money. It
It
didn't
was
say
all-
whose money.
Blame Arya. Blame Arya.
I'm not blaming anyone.
You should blame Arya.
Well then, let's begin!
Let's begin.
I mean, Genshin could, just stop putting shit characters on banners as bait.
That's true. Okay.
I
So-
mean, learn some self-restraint. If that's
so-
enough to
No,
bait
it's-
you,
No, it's literally almost the same character on every banner, and she sucks.
Yes, okay, Burgess, go sleep, go sleep.
Go bad, Fergus.
Go bed, Burgess. Also, everyone, I'm gonna do a quick BRB. I'm gonna do a quick BRB. So we're gonna well, actually, let me ask you guys this. Arya, how long is the trial? Is there a break in between?
I mean, there is kind of a point at which you could pause, because don't forget you can pause and save at any point.
True, but like,
So there
my
is
question is, since it's the last class trial, do we want to? Because I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I also don't want to be streaming
ideally,
for,
we want to do it all in one go.
Ideally, we want to do it all in one go. Okay. Okay. Let me. What do you guys think?
I mean, I can go bathroom anyways, because we're gonna go over skills and bullets anyway.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, let's do a okay, let's do a BRB. Let's do a BRB real quick, and then we'll be right back. Let me yeah, okay. Okay, we're gonna be right back.
boys in the streets, wonder on the keys, I'll be Miller on the beats, I'm a squirrels on the map, now I'm Chomsky in the line, Richie Collins on the slab, Bill Bush on the mic, face painted red, and a funky revolutionary, bringing down foes with real flows, face and red pill, like I'm not getting head pill, yeah, what's a snake, cause we hit it too hard, make a kill time bomb in his own backyard, shut us now, but they're making us proud, that's how you know it's the funky power,
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Oh, that's funny. Okay.
No, it won't
God.
look it'll look how it normally looks for everyone else, but for me it'll have the colored ones.
Alright, so first let's set skills. Not like we really have any.
I don't think we got any new skills.
I don't think we
We
have
haven't
free
got
time.
any.
We don't have the SP anyway, so.
Okay. Okay, let's do this. There's only 17 again, okay. Okay, so it's the same Monokuma file as before. Same Monokuma file, several rooms have been locked up to this is just a list of locked rooms. And the rooms we had to check. The Monokuma room in the data center opened to reveal a small room used to command Monokuma. This is where the mastermind had been issuing commands. Part found in the environment, played a part in Miko's mirror biolab being stamped onto one corner.
That's new because we are blind fuck. Well, Makoto is a blind fuck.
Nope. Her physical features are as follows. Kyoko has confirmed that the corpse matches these characteristics. Why does it have to give? Why is it showing her measurements as vitals? Those are not
Because
vitals.
anime.
Those are not vitals.
Those are vitals in anime.
Those
It's
aren't
called fan
vitals.
service.
Yeah, they are vital information for the weeps.
For the weebs, okay, well weebs.
No, for the lesser weeps. Us alpha weeps do not really care about the measurements of fictional characters.
The phrase the ultimate despair doesn't refer to a single individual, but a like-minded group of people. They brought about the single worst event in human history, motivated only by despair. Some of the most despicable people to ever live. Oh, the present! Kyoko's present!
Surprise! It's your dad.
Oh.
Your dad's here to see you on your
Baby
birthday.
Kyoko, baby Kyoko. Okay, an emergency handbook was found in the headmaster's hidden room, no restrictions. A notebook was found on the second floor. Hiro's name was written on the inside and had some notes for a number of different classes. The pocketbook was found in a locker on the second floor of the dorms, and based on what was written inside, it's believed to be Kyoko's. There's some kind of message scrawled on the last page. Despair walks among us and so we survive. There's a second despair. The biolab seems to be repurposed as a morgue. The corpse fridge. The photo depicts all the Hope Peak students wearing matching uniforms. Worth noting is that Muguro is pictured while Makoto is not. Could that mean all the others are working together somehow? It would seem while Toko and Genocide Jack share certain fundamental knowledge, their individual memories are separate. Kyoko attests that both the stab wound and the blow to the head were inflicted after death. The DVD Kyoko found contained interviews between the headmaster and all the Hope Peak students. Makoto, however, had no memory of such an interview. Thanks to Monokuma's interference, Makoto wasn't able to watch the DVD all the way through. Alrighty, are we ready?
Are you ready?
No.
If you guys get super stuck, as always, I am here to help. Other than that, good luck!
Since
All
this will be
right.
the
For the
final
honorable
class trial,
judge, Arya.
I've come up with a special rule. So listen up. If you can figure out Mukuro's killer and go on to solve the mystery of this school, you guys win. But if you can't, then I win. And of course, waiting for the loser is the super exciting, super heart-pounding punishment!
Are you saying that if you lose, you'll execute yourself?
Yep, sure will.
And that's final?
It's not execution.
No loopholes? No wiggling out of it later?
At that point?
Of course not! Bears never go back on their word!
Never mind all that. I just have one question for you.
Oh, you're taking this serious, huh? Are you feeling okay?
Is the mastermind only one person? Don't bother. I already know the answer. You're all the mastermind, aren't you? You're all out to get me.
I think
I knew it.
Hero's voice seems a bit deeper than usual.
I think Hero saw a picture with him out of the picture, and so he thinks everyone else is working together.
Yeah, I think everyone
Oh
saw
god, yeah,
a
that
picture.
could.
Yeah,
That very
I don't
well.
remember
I
who,
didn't
I don't
think
remember
of
who said
that.
it, but I think that, yeah, they all saw pictures of themselves.
Removed.
Yep, group photo.
You guys have all been working together, haven't you? I have evidence, so I know I'm right.
Hey, you stole my line. You're all out to get me. I'm sure of it. I have evidence of my own.
What a coincidence. I too have evidence to present. Evidence that proves everyone other than me has been working together.
What? Wait, hold on. This doesn't make any sense. How can the three of us each have that kind of
No, that's wrong.
I have evidence too.
It's not just you three. I have evidence too.
I mean, basically, if everyone comes up with this, you can grab that evidence, quote unquote, and just throw it away. Like, okay, it's showing the same thing.
The evidence you're all referring to is this group photo, right?
Well, yeah. Huh? Wait, but mine's different. With the picture you have, I'm in it. But that can't be right, because in my picture... See? I'm the only one not in it.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate this picture?
Kyoko's butt.
I'm trying to appreciate freaking how Makoto's gonna live. Look at that beast coming up.
Yeah. She's just gonna run straight through him.
I love how Fumi is trying his best. I love how Sylvester's just in the background. Just
I'm surprised if Fumi can keep up. I figured as much, in which case...
Hero, you have a picture too, right? Let's see it.
Okay, but be careful with it. It's pretty important evidence.
This one too. It's just like I thought. Sorry, I was...
So the secret in these
Looking at the
pictures
picture.
has been revealed.
Secret or whatever, I don't care. You guys are all in on this together. That's why I'm the only one missing.
But you're in my picture.
He sounds so whiny.
You're the ones trying to trick me.
So the whole purpose behind these photos was to get us questioning and fighting with each other. The mastermind laid a trap to make us each think everyone else was working against us.
Wouldn't the obvious answer be the person not in it took the picture?
Huh? I laid a trap?
You'd think.
A trap? How rude! What grounds do you have for such audacious accusations?
The proof I need to reveal Monokuma's trap. Each photo has a certain something in common. there's a connection regarding what person isn't shown in the photo, in the group photos. And that person is Monokuma isn't not in either not in any of the pictures.
In each case, the only one not in the picture is the person who received it. So, in the picture I got, I'm the only one missing. In the picture Hina got, she's the only one missing. And in the picture Hiro got, he's the only one missing.
As long as we're talking about it, I suppose I should show you my photo as well.
We don't care about you.
There's the fan service.
In other
There's
words,
the fan service.
Where did Sakura get that fish from?
That's a good question.
And when we each saw our picture, we just assumed everyone else was the enemy?
Figured it out, huh?
Yeah, I thought that must be it. But how was that a hint?
But you know, there might be more to this than just Monokuma trying to confuse us. There's something else that bothers me about everyone's picture. What is it? What's digging at me?
listen, can I see everyone's group photo one more time? It's not directly connected to what we're talking about, but I'd like to double check something.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I'm sure there's something unusual about these group photos. What is it? I need to compare each of them one more time. I want to see where... Yeah, Junko's face is always covered.
Yep. I love Sakura and Junko's face.
Oh, is that?
I love Hifumi in the background. And Hiro is like scared for his life. It's great.
Byakuya's picture. Byakuya's picture.
Yep.
Hina's picture.
Oh.
I really
Hiro's
liked
picture.
her.
And mine. There's something strange about all of them. Something I can't quite pin down. Something...
Group photos.
Can you just forget about the photo already?
Ooh.
Trying to trick me with such an obviously fake photo? I'm still pissed about that.
And on top of that, they went to all that trouble to make it look like we were wearing matching uniforms.
So you think they're fake? No, I assure you, they're quite real.
What are you talking about? There's no way.
Yeah! I don't remember ever taking a picture like that, so it's gotta be a fake. I'm sure of it.
But you know, can we really be so sure?
Huh?
Don't get me wrong, I don't remember taking this picture either. But is that really enough to be absolutely positive they're fake?
What do you mean?
The reason I don't remember this picture isn't necessarily because it's fake. There might be some other reason. Some terrible reason. An unbelievable but entirely horrifying reason. Jesus. Hangman's Gambit. Amnesia.
M. There we go. E.
S. A.
Now I understand.
Do you, Makoto? Do you?
Let's say that somehow we'd all lost our memories. That could explain it, couldn't it?
Oh, I get it. So we all just lost our memories at the same time and forgot about the photo. Makes sense. As if.
You expect me to believe such an unbelievable occult-type story?
Coming from you!
We all lost our memories? That's just crazy.
It's only natural that they wouldn't believe it. But no matter how much they refuse, if that's the absolute truth, they have no choice. Can't move forward until they accept it. There's another way to prove it besides those pictures. It's the DVDs!
You're saying we all got spontaneous amnesia? Since when did this turn into some kind of sci-fi fantasy?
I promise you, I haven't lost my memory. Ever since I got to this school, I remember everything that's happened.
No, you don't.
No, that's wrong.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Those
Bro, I
photos
don't
aren't the
remember
only
them.
things
I
that
don't even
point to the
remember what I ate
possibility of
yesterday,
memory
so.
loss.
Yeah.
This DVD does the same thing.
You're not gonna show us something indecent, are you?
No, it's nothing like that. It's a video of all of us being interviewed by the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster.
When you say all of us, you mean...
I mean all of us, including you.
You lie! I never did any kind of interview.
No, it's not a lie. Just watch the DVD and you'll see for yourself. The headmaster did, in fact, interview you.
What are you saying?
I didn't imagine you would remember.
It's not about whether or not I remember. You expect me to believe all this? That I lost my memory somehow?
Well, we don't have any way to refute it, so we have no choice but to accept it as reality.
How can you say that? We're talking about living, breathing amnesia here!
To be honest, I have
What?
something else on my mind right now.
Something else?
You said the DVD contains recordings of us being interviewed by the headmaster, right? What were the interviews about?
The headmaster sat each of us down, one at a time, and asked us the same question. He asked us if we could accept the idea of spending the rest of our lives in this school.
What kind of question is that?
And how did we answer?
We'd say no, obviously.
Actually, we all said we could. Even me. I heard myself say yes. I could spend the rest of my life at this school.
Why? Why would you say yes to something like that?
I don't know. I don't remember a thing.
The same goes for everyone else. Nobody remembers. You don't remember choosing to live here forever, or even talking to the headmaster about it at all.
It doesn't matter if I remember or not. Even if I bought the whole amnesia thing, the idea that I would want to live here forever? That's just insane! How can I believe that?
Insane or not, we can't move forward until you accept it. Am I right?
You sure are, 'cause it's all true.
What?
I love that animation.
I know it sounds absurd, but if it's the truth, there's nothing we can do about it.
Indeed. We only have one path in front of us.
Then, we really...
Yep, you all totally lost your memory at the same time.
This is all... making my head hurt.
And this isn't like some normal kind of memory loss. You stole those specific memories from us, didn't you?
Oopsie, you figured that part out too, huh?
I love how he has to stand on something to be the same height as everyone else.
Of course.
Very cute.
There's no way we would all just happen to get amnesia at the same time.
How could someone just steal our memories?
How? Come, Come, that hardly matters right now. If I said it was hypnotism, would you believe me? Or we opened up your skulls and messed with your brains? Would you really believe anything I said? How it happened
I don't
doesn't
think that's how
matter right
memory
now.
works.
What matters is figuring out what memories you took from us. That's what you're trying to say, right?
I knew I could count on you.
The interview with the headmaster, taking that group photo, those can't be the only memories we lost. There must have been a purpose to it all. A reason for taking away our memories.
Of course there was a purpose. It all has to do with the original motive.
The original motive.
You mean the motive you came up with to try and get us to all kill each other?
That has something to do with the memories you stole from us?
It sure does. But that part's still a secret. Anyway, I'm sure it's not easy, but let's all focus on the class trial for the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Okay, so you want us to figure out who killed her before we do anything else.
So until we do that. Well, either way, we have to explain every last remaining mystery. So, the one who killed Mukuro, the true mastermind, that's what we need to expose. Just say Junko. Just say Junko.
I knew I liked Junko for a reason. I knew I liked Junko for a reason. I called it at the beginning.
I wish
I called it. How long ago?
That's true, you actually called it.
So who did it? Who killed her?
Whoever did it is the same one who's behind everything. That much I'm sure of.
But when you think about it, is the mastermind really here in the school?
Of course! They have to be here somewhere.
What makes you so sure?
What does make me so sure?
Exactly. You're just making stuff up. There's no way the mastermind is here. The mastermind is probably a million miles away.
Yep, there.
No, that's wrong. There's no question that the mastermind is somewhere within the school.
How do you know? Did you find some evidence or something?
In the back of the data center, I found a panel that controls Monokuma. The mastermind must have been using that to control him all this time. So there can't be any doubt. The mastermind has been inside the school all along.
There can't be any doubt. In which case, there also can be no doubt that the mastermind is one of us.
What?
No, Byakuya. Because if the mastermind would be in that room there with them, he couldn't control Monokuma.
Exactly, so it's not one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the other ones. Oh, stretchies.
It's the very first person that quote unquote
Recall what Makoto
died.
told us Monokuma said to him earlier.
I guess what, Arya?
Sure, I told you. Please tell me we're not doing this again. I think Emmy might bust a nut if we have to do this again.
To assume it can only be that 16th
Won't
student.
make her go through that.
But how'd they manage to survive all of this?
So we're the only ones here? It's not me! I'm not the mastermind!
Well, it's not me! I blame Makoto! What?
Why me?
Cuz! It's super weird how you're the only one who survived being executed!
Oh, I get it! The only way he could have survived is if he was actually the mastermind himself, right?
Aw, nuts! Ya got me!
Wait! What are you trying to say?
Everyone, calm down. There's no reason to panic. The mastermind's true identity will become clear soon enough. Just as soon as we find out who killed Mukuro.
That's a good point. Rather than wasting time bickering, we should put our minds to work solving this mystery.
Yeah, well, how much time have we already spent talking about the murder?
About half an hour.
He's right. What more is there to talk about?
If you want something to talk about, I think there might be one thing. We haven't fully established what Mukuro's fatal injury was.
Huh? But I thought we figured that out. She died when she got hit in the back of the head.
No, that isn't actually what killed her. It was something entirely different. Wouldn't you agree, Makoto?
The other wounds.
I got it! All of the wounds covering her body. That's what really killed her.
Hey, now hold on a second. You did read the Monokuma file, right?
The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old.
It made it pretty clear. Those wounds were made at least a few days ago. So they can't possibly be what killed her.
Consider this. What if the murder itself took place at least a few days ago?
What?
What if, when we discovered her body, she'd already been dead for several days? If that's true, then naturally the wounds that killed her would appear to be however many days old.
That doesn't make any sense. Because she had all those wounds before she ever came here.
Huh? How do you know that?
Isn't it obvious? She was the ultimate soldier, right? So that means, you know...
You're wrong.
She denied me. Before I could even say anything.
Oh boy.
I'm not
Okay.
weird, okay? At least listen to what I have to say before you deny me.
If you're so sure we're gonna deny you, why bother saying it in the first place?
I would actually, I don't know if I said anything. That would make sense if, you know, the fatal wounds were days old, if no one ever found them.
She must have been in 100 different battles. So, when you think about it, obviously, she got all those wounds in battle.
Are you finished?
You
Yeah,
didn't
miss.
deny me this time, Z-Wimsey.
You made me go up.
Don't worry, there wasn't anything.
You made me go, Kinsey.
I'm sorry, can we just...
Mukuro
I'm sorry.
she must have been so... Obviously... Are you finished?
You didn't deny me this time,
You-
Z-Wimsey. You made me go all cutesy.
Don't worry.
Can we have an
there wasn't
Arya take on that?
anything cute about it.
Can we have an Aria take on that, please?
Re. The Aria take on that is Re.
Please.
No, those wounds didn't come from the battlefield. One look at what was written about her and that should become clear.
Mukuro was the ultimate. She must have been so...
Obviously, she got all those wounds in battle.
No?
Are you finished?
I think it just deflected weirdly.
Yeah, hitbox is probably a little bit off
Yeah.
because it's not like you took damage
Otherwise-
or anything.
Don't
Yep.
worry.
Otherwise, it would have given you damage.
Mukuro was... She must have been so... When you...
Obviously, she got all those wounds in battle.
Yeah,
You
you
hit
hit
the
the
white
white.
text again.
Are you finished?
You need to accommodate for the spinning.
Yeah.
Mukuro was... She
You might want
must have
to
been
aim for the white, and you'll hit the orange.
She got all those wounds in battle.
Nope, you need to aim for the white, Star. Aim at the whites, and you'll hit the orange.
Star, short question. Are you colorblind by any chance?
Mukuro was the ultimate. She must have been so... When you...
Obviously,
Shoot the whites. The whites. Yes. Nope. Yes. Shoot. Go. There you go.
Thank you.
No, Mukuro didn't suffer those wounds in battle. The file we found in the headmaster's room said as much. Despite the time she spent in battle after battle as a member of Fenrir, when she entered this school, she hadn't sustained a single injury.
To be denied so completely. Actually, it's kind of refreshing. Maybe it's because of all of Master's training.
Anyway, so we can be sure that Mukuro suffered all those wounds after coming to this school, in which case, they could be the very thing that killed her.
As a matter of fact, it's hard to imagine any other possibility. When examining her body, I found that her stomach and head wounds came after she was already dead.
Unless anyone has
Mukuro
any
was
better
disguised as
suggestions,
Junko
I think we
when
can say
Junko
this
died.
with confidence. The wounds Mukuro sustained all over her body
Oh.
are what ultimately killed her.
I mean, it looked
Ah.
but why?
Okay.
The why is relatively easy. It said that there's too much to this case. Probably Junko
But if
and
that's what
Mukuro.
killed her,
Junko is Mukuro?
No, they're two
No,
different
who
people.
we got to know as Junko was Mukuro.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Junko was sitting in the background controlling Monokuma from the very beginning, and killed Mukuro to with the spares to fake her own death, essentially.
Yep. That would explain things, because this was before the whole like
And
investigation and murder things, because
Yep.
you have to see
Yeah, but why?
bodies.
Like,
But
what's
before
her
that,
reason?
there was
the,
no
the
investigation.
reason why we, well, probably to outsmart us, or at least an attempt to outsmart us. But yeah, and that's also the reason why none of the pictures there is Junko's face visible.
Because we would
otherwise we would
notice.
figure out that the person who we got to know as Junko wasn't Junko. Which
Oh,
up to this point wouldn't
that's
have mattered
probably
because
why,
they lost the memory of Junko before that.
Well, that's also probably why why Monokuma canceled the DVD, because it would have showed.
Yeah, because Junko's face would have been shown.
A body has been discovered.
But we have. Oh no, because we would know it's different than.
Makoto would know
Yeah,
it's a
then
different
we-
face, because Makoto
If we
saw
saw
Junko's
Junko's face, that is confirmed Junko's face
Yeah.
from the pictures in the DVD, we would know that the person that we got to know as Junko was not Junko.
Alrighty. Got it.
then does that mean she's really been dead for who knows how long?
Thank you.
That's exactly what it means. When we found her body in the garden, she'd already been dead for several days.
So then, what about the little matter of what happened last night? Makoto, you said you were attacked in your room by a masked assailant. If Mukuro had already been dead for several days, certainly it couldn't have been her.
How do you explain the magazine cover? Well, Photoshop, right? Like, she's a model. All models are photoshopped.
No, she said it in the very beginning. Oh, I guess you haven't seen me all, like, because she was all, like, made up and everything.
Yeah. Like, models, like, makeup changes a lot.
Because when Sakura first saw her, she's like, oh, you look much different in person.
Yeah, makeup changes a lot. And Photoshop. There's always Photoshop.
You're not gonna throw us off our trail, Arya. We're pretty sure it's Junko.
So who was it that attacked you?
The identity of the one who attacked me. I can't think of anyone else.
I got it!
The
The one who attacked me was the true mastermind.
God, they got some
When we
terrible
discovered
Mukuro
Mukuro in the
too.
garden wearing the same mask,
They just decided to end her.
I naturally assumed she must have been the one who attacked me. But I was
Funny
wrong.
little fact that I just noticed: the sign on this on the forehead of the mask is Monokuma's eye.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't her at all. It was the mastermind.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just getting a little impatient sitting here listening. I think I'm gonna jump in. Let's start off with a nice, easy question. Your assumption that I attacked Makoto is just that, right? An assumption. You can't really know who was under that mask, can you? I mean, that's the whole point of a mask. The true identity of the masked attacker is Mukuro Ikusaba. At least, that's what I think. Do you have any evidence that might convince me otherwise?
No, there's no way Mukuro was the one that attacked me. Even though I didn't see their face.
The tattoo.
Yeah, nails and stuff. And tattoo. Mukuro had a very obvious Fenrir tattoo. Comparing that to the masked attacker. It should be obvious.
You never saw their face, right? So you can't have any...
Okay, I might have to get some.
I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro Ikusaba!
You're wrong. Even without seeing their face, there's another part of the attacker we can use to prove it wasn't her.
Oh? And what is this other part? Is it the right hand? Or the left hand?
Oh god, which hand is it?
Right.
It's the right hand.
Maybe the right foot. Or perhaps the left foot. Or could it be the hips?
Most noticeable feature, blah blah blah. The tattoo that marked her membership in Fenrir. The tattoo was in a certain easy to spot area.
You never saw their face, so you can't have any idea.
I'm telling you now, it was Muku.
No, that's wrong. Mukuro had a tattoo on her right hand, if I remember correctly. A representation of Fenrir. In other words, a wolf tattoo. But I saw the right hand of the person who attacked me. And there was no such tattoo. So there's no way the person behind the mask was Mukuro.
Yeah, well, okay. You got me. I guess it wasn't her. But that still doesn't prove that it was me. It could have been, you know, someone else, right?
The rest
Hiro,
was all
Toko,
together.
Hina, and I all have solid alibis for that entire night.
Yeah! We were in the gym tearing you apart, so it could have been any of us.
Oh, okay, sure. It couldn't have been any of you. But what about Kyoko? It totally could have been her.
She wears gloves.
She's gonna
No
take
snappy
her
comeback?
gloves off.
Did I score a
Yeah, but she wears the
bullseye?
gloves for the scars.
Scars,
So
yeah.
no scars.
If you insist, I don't mind showing you.
Huh? Show me what?
What do you think? I'll show you the one thing that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it wasn't me.
Before anyone could say anything. Kyoko was removing her gloves.
Your hands!
Without thinking, I let out a gasp. It was more than just a little burnt skin.
I was gonna
Awful,
be like,
isn't
that's
it?
charred. unkindled one.
It happened when I was first learning to be a detective. I was inexperienced.
I thought you didn't want anyone to see those scars.
If it means we get another step closer to unmasking the mastermind, it doesn't really bother me.
Kyoko seemed to savor the words as she said them. Then she put her gloves back on.
My scars should suffice as proof. Makoto, did the person who attacked you have scars like mine?
No, not at all. I'm positive.
Then this much has been made clear. There can
Logic
be no
conclusion.
doubt that the one who attacked Makoto is the true mastermind.
Or Makoto.
So Makoto is the true mastermind.
This is just awful. On top of my secret being revealed, I had to look at those positively grotesque scars of yours. Sorry, did I say that out loud? I do hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
Not
You
at
seem
all.
to be
You can
so
say whatever
keen
you
on
want.
how people look.
Sure, as long as it means pushing me farther into the corner, right? But I'm not cornered just yet. Because if you haven't noticed, the circumstances surrounding Mukuro's death are totally unknown.
That's true. All we know right now is she was killed a good while before this morning.
On the contrary, we don't know anything other than that.
You're not going to tell us she was already dead before we arrived here or something, are you?
In that regard, you have nothing to worry about. I promise you, without a doubt, she died after our little killing game began here.
Then somehow she was killed in
And after she died, who knows how much time?
She wasn't killed in secret.
She wasn't killed in secret. She was killed in front of all of you.
Oh, right, that thing doesn't work.
It's okay, just remind me when it does work, you can add it to the total.
The thing is, isn't it by the rules that if 3 or more people find the body that it should be announced and a class trial should start?
Yeah, but she didn't directly get murdered.
Yeah, she
in
wasn't
the killing game.
murdered.
She
was murdered by
got punished.
disobeying.
Yeah, she broke a rule.
Yeah. and
right.
Following that logic, Ruku, the corpses from the punishments would also trigger another
Also
class
trigger.
trial.
Yeah, nope. Gotcha.
But yeah,
The culprit
everyone
stash
could
her
say it was in
somewhere?
broad.
She couldn't have been in the garden the whole time, could
What,
she?
Harrison?
Oh no, just that she was killed literally in front of everybody. At the very beginning.
If she was, she would have been totally decomposed. Just like your brain.
Then she was being stored somewhere?
But to hide
I
a
love how
body
he doesn't
here,
deny it, Aver.
to
Yeah.
just store it
I was
somewhere?
thinking it, I was just not gonna say it.
Yup.
There's only one place. I can't think of anywhere else the body could have been stored.
The kitchen.
The pool.
I got it! Mukuro's body was probably kept hidden in the biolab.
Yeah, let's be honest here.
You mean on the 5th floor?
If the body was stored in the kitchen, Hina would 100% have eaten it by now.
True.
All the burgers.
That's right. It's actually set up for use as a morgue.
And
so
if it
it's
was
the
in the
perfect place
pool,
to hide a body. And
Sakura
it'd
would have
keep the body
raced it
preserved
in the
at
swimming
same
pool.
Time.
Hina would have found it there too.
Yeah,
Hina
you know
would've
what I
found it
found it
both
there
areas.
too.
Then you're also saying the body was moved from the biolab to the garden.
And I have no doubt that that's exactly what happened. In fact, I have proof.
The proof that shows the body was carried from the biolab to the garden. What? There's something that made its way from the biolab to the garden. Was it the tarp?
No, it was Mukuro Ikusaba's profile.
Yeah, it was
What
definitely
makes me so sure the body was carried from the biolab to the garden is the tarp that we found in the garden. When I was checking it over again, I noticed something. I noticed that some text had been stamped on one corner of the tarp.
Oh, it says biolab.
Holy cow! How'd you notice that tiny little thing?
Makoto's nitpicky nature seems to have surfaced with perfect timing.
This proves that the tarp originally came from the biolab. In fact, there's a whole stack of tarps just like it in there.
So when the killer moved the body to the garden, they must have grabbed a tarp to wrap it in. Then they simply left it as it was to protect against the sprinklers and put the code on it afterwards.
Wow, you made everything sound so amazingly consistent.
But that's just a wild guess. Where's your evidence? Prove that the body was wrapped in a tarp and moved.
There is no evidence. I was simply explaining what I think happened.
Barry Allen, thank you very much for the follow. How are you today?
That would No.
But you seem to be getting pretty worked up about it, wouldn't you say?
Worked up?
Now that the conversation has turned to the topic of the biolab, you must be getting pretty nervous. Because the key to uncovering your secret identity is hidden within that room, isn't it?
Are you talking about unmasking the mastermind?
You see, the biolab contained an inconsistency. One so major it can't be overlooked.
An inconsistency in the biolab? You be talking about?
La la la, I can't hear you. La 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 la.
Such a child. Oh well, just ignore him.
I need to pull myself together and think.
The numbers of freezers.
The inconsistency in the biolab. Could you be talking about?
Hey, by the way, Makoto, what about that one thing?
What one thing?
What do you think I'm talking about? Your family.
Now he's just trying to turn it around.
Yeah. What?
Don't tell me you forgot about that video message. So what do you think? Are you sure your family's still okay?
Why are you bringing that up now?
Your mom, your dad, your little sister. What do you think has happened to your family? Are they really as safe as you might have assumed?
Stop talking about that!
Calm down, Makoto. He wants you to get upset.
Yeah, I need to stay calm. I need to calm down. I can't let him get to me. He's just saying that because he knows we're getting close to the truth of the biolab. So if I want to shut him up, I need to expose the inconsistency and slam him with it. The inconsistency has to be the one area where the numbers just don't match up.
Oh no, not this.
Have fun.
Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? What? What do you want? Are you sure about this? Proof, proof, proof! Are you sure about this?
Yeah.
That's impossible! Are you sure about this? Are you sure about this? That's impossible!
Don't need to get them all.
What? What do you
Doesn't
want?
have a health. Yep, there you go.
I'm not listening!
No.
Are you sure?
Calm down, Star.
That's impossible! Are you sure about this? I'm not listening! This should prove it.
I mean, it only took until the end of the game, but that was probably the best one you did.
Yeah.
The
much.
consistency Kyoko's
Oh, I hate
talking
that so
about is
much.
the lights.
That game does get easier. It evolves over the games. And personally, I think it gets easier.
I wouldn't have much hope for me. With that game. I don't know why. I was always great at Guitar Hero.
What are you talking about? What about the lights? Like I said before, the biolab also acts as a morgue. And as part of that, a giant refrigerator was installed in there. That's where everyone who's died is stored.
And it was set up so that when a slot had a body in it, a blue light would turn on.
In other words, if the blue light is on, that means there's a body in that slot.
But I counted up the number of blue lights that were on, including the one Mukuro was in. And there were only 9.
Why does that matter? You gotta give me the bite-sized version here, man.
I'm stupid. You gotta do that.
9 lights doesn't make sense. The number of lights that should be on is
6.
10.
8.
I got it! 10 of the lights should have been on. Any other number is incredibly suspicious.
Suspicious? Why? That's simple. Just recall who's died here so far, and it should become clear.
That's right. That's the key to solving this mystery. Sayaka died first. No, Junko did. Oh. Guess Junko was second then.
Okay then.
Leon was third. Chihiro was fourth. Mondo was fifth. Taka was sixth. Then Ifumu was seventh. Celeste was eighth. Sakura was ninth. And victim number 10 was Mukuro.
So 10 people in all?
That's right. Any other number should make you immediately suspicious.
And Junko is the only one whose identity never got confirmed post-mortem.
You're saying a dead body just up and disappeared?
I got it! The mastermind destroyed one of the bodies to get rid of evidence.
But if
Yes,
they
Hina,
wanted to do
good
that,
job.
they would have destroyed Mukuro's body, since they actually killed her. And yet, her body was left alone.
Then, whose body disappeared?
It may very well be that none of them disappeared.
But if that's true, then why doesn't the body count match?
Including Monokuma's executions, there have apparently been 10 deaths, but there were only 9 bodies. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I'm completely lost. How can the number of victims be less than the number of murders?
Come on, guys, don't be Makoto level. Bring it up a bit.
There's only 9. Also, they said there'd be 9 bodies of all the executions. I have another point. 1 was burnt to ashes, and 1 was turned to butter. How can there be bodies? I just...
Only 9 murders took place.
The same person was killed twice, you guys.
Big Star, you only have 2 minutes to answer this question.
Alright, now.
Shoot!
that
Wait,
was
what?
Apparently that was the final part.
No, it is. I think this is the same person.
Yeah, the same person was killed twice and Mukuro was killed twice.
Oh, what about it?
Stupid.
The same person was killed twice.
I was like, it must have been wrong. We didn't get no voice actor.
Yeah.
Killed twice?
Voice actor.
Officially, 10 murders have been committed so far, but one of the victims may have been murdered, and then murdered again.
Murdered and murdered again?
If that's the case, there could have been 10 killings, but still only 9 victims, right?
Technically, you're right, I guess. But still, something like that
Could easily
no,
have
that
happened.
would-
No, it is what happened.
Or no, that's just 9 killings and 1 mutilation.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
pretty
you're
much.
already convinced. Then can you tell us who was killed twice?
It
Mukuro.
was Mukuro, of course. Before she was killed as Mukuro Ikusaba, she was killed as someone else.
And that's why the body had to be stored in the biolab until the moment we found it in the garden.
No, that's crazy talk. She was killed as someone else? Come on! Besides, who could that someone else even have been?
All you have to do is look at those bodily injuries of hers, and that will become obvious.
Nothing's gonna become obvious. Because Kyoko's totally delusional.
Watch your brain. I did
Plus, Junko was the only one who didn't have like a quote murder.
Yeah.
Or confirmed death.
Who is this someone else that Mukuro was killed as? Was it Sayaka Maizono? Junko Enoshima? Leon Kuwata?
Oh.
Mando Kyoto?
Bye, you gotta be fast on that.
Celestia Lu? Or maybe...
This is Lou, whatever.
No, there's no way anyone was murdered twice!
That's really hard.
You have to take them.
Someone else. Was it Sayaka Maizono? Junko Enoshima? Leon Kuwata? Chihiro Mando? Kiyotaki Fumi? Celestia Lu? Or maybe... Sakura? No. There's no way anyone was murdered twice!
No, that's wrong.
There you go.
Nice.
I wasn't even impressed. I was like, man, that was a fast.
Mm-hmm.
That was really hard.
Wasn't her fatal injury pretty similar to Mukuro's?
What do you mean?
Well, remember what happened to her? She was impaled by a bunch of spears, all over her body.
Everyone would probably wish that
And
that shadow
Mukuro
was not
died
there.
from a number of wounds across her body. When you compare that to the stab wounds Junko suffered,
Then the similarities match?
Yes, and those are the only fatal injuries that match up. That explains why those two bodies are actually one and the same.
so let me see if I have this straight. Junko, or someone going by that name, was stabbed to death with multiple spears. Then her body was kept in the biolab for however long before being dragged out again. Only this time, it was presented as the corpse of one Mukuro Ikusaba.
It all matches up, right? Those wounds Junko suffered could easily be these same injuries.
Then, it's really true? Mukuro and Junko are the same person? Wait, so then... What does it all mean?
It means that there haven't been 10 victims, but 9. Which also means that among the people we thought were dead, one is still alive.
And that's the true identity of the mastermind?
Who is it? Who's behind all this?
We already know the
Come
answer to
on.
that.
Ah.
Oh my god.
She took
No,
Junko's
it's not
body
Mukuro.
and made it look like she was the one who died. So Mukuro is still alive. She's gotta be
It can't be because of the
Total
tattoo on
silence?
the hand.
Then I must be right. I'm right, aren't I?
Mukuro alive? The one that's still alive is Mukuro? But can we really believe that?
No.
Think about the tat. Think about the tattoo. No, there's no way. There's no way Mukuro Kusaba is still alive. You can cover up a tattoo, but you can't remove it.
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive?
No, I think it's the
No, it's the pro.
Yeah,
Is it
I'm pretty sure it's
profile?
the profile. Yeah, Mukuro's
Oh, yeah,
profile.
that
Because it
says,
says that she
tattoo.
has the tattoo.
Just, well, the profile also gives the vitals. Well, vitals.
True, the vitals
And
are
the
matching
body,
up.
and the body is confirmed to be.
That's right. She made it look like Junko's body was her.
I was about to pee. That's why there's the three sizes.
No, I think you need to do the second, the first one, the first orange one.
The body we
That's why there's
found
the
in
three
garden.
sizes, because they're different from
It
Junko's.
wasn't Mukuro.
It is Mukuro.
No, that's wrong.
We're sitting there like, oh, it's just for fan service.
No, the body we found in the garden was Mukuro. That's one
It's
thing we
still
can be
just
sure
for
of.
fan service.
The body's appearance and measurements are consistent with her records. Right, Kyoko?
She was 5 foot 6 inches tall and weighed 97 pounds. Her vitals were 30. Everything in her
Oh, they call
profile is
her
consistent
vitals.
with that corpse.
And then there's the matter of the Fenrir tattoo. So there's no question it's her.
But if Mukuro's not the mastermind, then who's actually still alive?
Junko!
Oh my god.
Someone's made it like they look. Someone has made it look like they died, but they're actually still alive.
Your student profile from the other level? Just.
Probably with the girls.
59. 32, 33, 35, 31,
31.
51,
I mean, it's. Oh yeah, that makes.
31, 31, 28.
There's only one person it could be. Junko.
That's Monokuma.
Monokuma.
You look so sad.
Because he knows he. No.
You look so sad. I knew I liked her for a reason.
Here's my answer.
I knew I liked her.
Junko is still alive. It's the only possibility.
Are you sure about that?
Huh?
I admit, since Mukuro is undoubtedly dead, Junko does seem to be the only other explanation. But we saw her get impaled. She died right before our very eyes.
That was Mukuro.
If Junko were still alive, the death we saw would had to have been some kind of charade. But you yourself confirmed she was dead, did you not?
Now that you mention it,
God, we're gonna go through this again.
I gently placed my hand on Junko's lifeless body. I touched her wrist to check for a pulse, like they do in movies and stuff, but she really is dead. There wasn't anything else to say. She was gone. I did check, absolutely. And I can say for sure.
She was dead. There's no question. Junko was dead.
So, the idea that she's still alive.
It must be wrong.
Then you're withdrawing your previous statement?
I know you gave it your best shot, but too bad. I guess your conclusion wasn't done. Too bad.
That's also why we just wanted to go through it all at
This
once.
case hasn't been decided just yet.
Oh?
You haven't given up already, have you, Makoto?
No,
Huh?
of course not. There's no way I'd give up that easy.
That's all well and good, but how do you intend to solve the problem standing in your way? Junko absolutely died. Mukuro absolutely died.
Then both of them are dead, right? There can't be any kind of survivor story.
I think we need to look at this from the opposite direction.
Huh? The opposite direction?
Let's assume Junko is still alive. If so, how could she have survived?
How could Junko have survived? I checked her, she was dead, I'm sure of it. But still, if she were alive somehow... Could it be that Junko's not the one that died?
Oh, finally.
It wasn't Junko, but someone else entirely?
Finally.
Junko is the one that killed Mukuro through Monokuma.
Maybe she used some sort of trick. Hangman's Gambit.
Eh.
Replace. Replace.
Now I understand. That's it. What if she switched places with someone else?
Switched places?
That's right. Before the spears could kill her, she got someone to take her place. Specifically, Mukuro Ikusaba.
Then that would make it Mukuro's corpse that showed up later.
Which is why the body's height and weight
You're
and
half
everything
there.
match Mukuro's profile,
Stop,
right?
stop.
I don't know anything about this switching places thing, but... That had to be Junko who got stabbed to death, right?
Yeah, you're saying they switched? When could they even have done that? Right when she was about to die? Like she used some kind of ninja replacement technique?
Good point. There's just no way they could have switched like that. So maybe the whole idea is wrong.
There has to be some way. You need to figure out how to explain what they could have switched.
They switched after death.
No.
I got it! The two of them may have switched places from the very beginning.
What? From the beginning?
Yes, from the moment we first met. If that's when they switched, then they wouldn't have had to switch at the moment of death, right? After all, the one we saw at that point would have already been Mukuro.
And that's why Mukuro's body had the fingernails and Junko's boots.
Hold on. So, you're saying the Junko we first met was actually Mukuro all along?
Then we'd already met her?
I had like a normal conversation with her.
When we first met, none of us knew who anyone else was. So Mukuro could have simply told us her name was Junko, and we never would have known the difference. That would easily allow
And
the
her
two
eyes
of
and her
them to
face look
switch
a lot like
places from the
Mukuro's
very
picture.
beginning.
Wait, but Mukuro had a tattoo on the back of her hand, right? Junko never had any tattoo like that, did she?
She could have hidden it with foundation or something like that. If she did, it likely melted away in the explosion, exposing the tattoo after the body was extinguished.
What if that's why she was when she was late to the breakfast, because she said she was late because she was doing her makeup,
Oh.
because she was
That's a good
covering
point.
up that.
That's a good
Plus,
point.
there were the fake nails found on the hands of Mukuro's body. They were the same fake red nails she was wearing when we all met for the first time.
But if she really did use foundation...
Correct. Even if there was no tattoo on her hand, I couldn't say for certain it wasn't so I'm glad nobody noticed that glaring hole when we were trying to figure out who attacked Makoto.
But too bad for you, Monokuma. You can't deny it anymore.
Wait, so this whole thing was a setup from the very beginning?
If that's true, it was quite an elaborate plan to be sure, making it look like Mukuro was Junko.
The reason such an elaborate plan was possible is because the two of them were working together.
So Mukuro, the ultimate despair, teamed up with someone like her.
Wait a second. It says there's a second despair.
Second
believe
despair
Hear
would
that.
be- Yeah.
There's another truth bullet that literally says that they are multiple people. Multiple spell is multiple people.
In other
But-
words, it would be fair to say that Junko herself was also the
that's
ultimate despair.
What's wrong? Lost the will to fight back?
I think he's just afraid.
Afraid? What's that mean, afraid? Fear is only possible where hope is possible. I only have despair, so fear is an alien concept to me.
Then why haven't you been saying anything?
Because it's a bunch of nonsense. Junko's my secret identity? As if.
Then why did you try and protect Junko's real identity?
I tried to protect her identity? When did I do that?
So he still refuses to admit it, but he can try to deceive us all he wants. It doesn't matter. Because I've already figured it out. He tried to hide Junko's identity. And not just once, but twice. First time was during our latest investigation.
Oh, it was the DVD, right?
No, I think it's the
No.
photo.
Oh, wow.
Because her face was never shown. Maybe I guess not.
No, the very first investigation.
Shoot!
Well, Monokuma tried to keep me from seeing.
Rip
Aw.
us.
Oh no.
Game over.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
I realized we were so low on health.
Yeah, how do we lose so much health so quickly?
Is this
Oh, the
really
shootout
end
against
for all of
Monokuma.
us?
no.
Oh,
Yes.
I refuse to give up yet.
the power of, again, the absolute willpower of not the highest difficulty.
Yeah, if that.
That
Then
brings
they
us
would
all the way
That's
back
probably
to
what
the
I
moment
heard
of
it say.
truth, right?
Do I
Oh,
have
we had to
this
do
or
all
is
of that
it-
over again.
Oh,
After
my
all,
God.
the
was actually...
I had...
When we... So Muku... And we...
Damn, that's me.
That would eat...
Wait! Junko never had any...
Why did she try to hide in the first
If she did, plus,
investigation? I don't remember.
they were
It was like 4 weeks ago.
correct. If so, but two.
What if that's...
In other words,
Well, I think he's just a...
Fear is on...
then why did you try and protect?
I tried to win.
I got it.
Oh, it is a
While I
DVD.
was in the AV room, watching the DVD of our
God,
interview
that was from
with
the
the
God.
headmaster.
I really am. I was like, I felt so good about it, and then I'm just like, oh wait.
Wasn't just a monitor, the DVD player itself had apparently turned off, which of course meant that the DVD wasn't playing anymore. What the heck just happened?
Oopsie, looks like it broke out of service.
What? It just so happened to break just now?
Now then, when? Doesn't matter. Failure can strike anywhere, anytime. That's what failure is, right?
You made sure I couldn't finish watching the video. And the reason you did that is because you didn't want me to see the real Junko, did you?
Oh, yeah! If everyone was in that video, of course Junko would have had to show up.
And if Makoto saw the real Junko, it would have been totally obvious that the Junko we met was an imposter.
That whole power outage thing was just a fluke.
No, it wasn't a fluke. The mastermind definitely orchestrated the power outage. And that's not the only time they tried to hide Junko's identity. The mastermind tried to cover up one other piece of evidence. I've got to reveal that. It's the photos!
There we go, there's the photo. I can see the press in the right. Oh.
Have fun!
Oh no.
What? What do you want? What? What do you want? Are you sure about this? You're getting all riled up. That's impossible.
I found where all of our health went.
I mean, we didn't take that much damage even from all those. We only took one heart.
Well, I think by that point we only had like 2 hearts though.
What do you want?
No, we had a little more, but Star messed up the last one, so that gave us a pretty big strike.
Photos. Group photos.
This should prove it.
Open that. I see we
Great.
but that
The
was
video
part
wasn't the only
that
thing
was
you
the best
tried to
thing that
cover
could've
up.
happened to you.
You did the same thing with this group photo. Uh-oh. I noticed it just a little while ago, when we were all comparing the photos we got. In all the photos, there's a certain similarity, an unusual circumstance.
What's so unusual about them?
The unusual circumstance common to all these pictures. Junko's face.
I got it! Junko's face. The one thing common to every single photo is that you can't see her face. It's hard to believe her face would just happen to be hidden in every single picture, don't you think? And on top of that, In this photo, you can see that Mukuro is clearly visible. So in other words, at that point, the two of them hadn't switched yet. With all that in mind, there's no doubt that the girl whose face is hidden here is the real Junko. Which is why you had to have pictures that didn't show her face. Because if we could have seen her face, then it would have clearly revealed that the Junko in the pictures wasn't the Junko that we knew. Xanadu!
I believe everything Makoto said is true. Junko and Mukuro switched places before we met either of them.
So she killed Mukuro, who had taken her place, making it look like she'd died. And the real Junko is still alive.
And she's the one behind this whole murderous situation. This killing game. She's the true mastermind and the ultimate despair. Xanadu times 2!
With this, the identity and the crimes of the mastermind have been exposed.
No, wait!
Xanadu.
Don't bother trying to deny it. There's no more room for debate. You don't have anywhere left to run. I'll prove everything, right now.
Yeah, so Arya's a big fat liar. This trial is in 2 parts.
We have 24 minutes, so everyone showed up. Switched. Next to she did it. Then she opened the thingy majiggy, the cold storage. Carried it over. Put on the mask. Threatens Q2. Photo woke up. I think the knife goes under the eye. That's... Oh no, the knife goes where you put it, and then...
Yeah, then the... Kyoko walking in.
Which, that one? I think it's the other one.
It might be the other one. Like, there was 2 of them with Kyoko and him. Yeah, that's one.
Kyoko walks in first, and then chases after. Whatever. Then they put the mask on. Nope. There's one that has the mask.
Putting the mask on.
There. Then everyone finds the mask, they explode.
And there's the mastermind just sitting in the chamber looking at like, huh.
Here's
well.
Exactly what happened. We met the ultimate fashionista, Junko Enoshima, right after we all arrived here. But that wasn't the real Junko. The girl we saw before us was actually the 16th student who had taken Junko's place. And that girl's name was Mukuro Ikusaba. But it wasn't long before she died at the hands of Monokuma. In other words, the mastermind, Junko Enoshima. Her body was kept in a biolab, which had been converted into a morgue, until Junko decided to put her body to use. Junko dragged the body out of the biolab, using the tarp to carry her to the garden. She fabricated the murder to try and frame Kyoko, who'd proven to be one big thorn in her side. Meanwhile, she wanted us all to think Mukuro was still alive and hiding somewhere inside the school. So she put on a mask and then attacked me. After making sure I'd gotten a good look at the mask, she left the room. Then she put the same mask on Mukuro's body. This was all to make us think the person who attacked me and the corpse were one and the same. She wanted us to believe the murder had only recently taken place. Finally, by strapping a bomb to the body, she was able to destroy any remaining evidence she needed to hide the body's true identity. She had to make sure we didn't find out it was actually the same person we'd met in the beginning. This is the truth behind Mukuro's murder, and the one who carried it all out is the true mastermind. The one controlling Monokuma. The real Junko Enoshima.
Complete.
That's the whole story behind this incident. Well, what do you have to say to that?
What? Are you broken again?
You can't get out of this, so don't even try.
Come on! It's time you finally revealed yourself!
It's not like you're an endangered species or something. How long do you plan to keep hiding?
Give it up, Junko. The game's over.
Over? Did you really think the story would end once we reached the climax of the case? Wrong! There's still plenty more to go!
Oh, are we gonna go see Junko? I knew I loved her.
We have been waiting so very long for peasants like you to appear.
It's literally just Byakuya with titties.
You swear your fealty to us. We will reward you with half of the entire
I love her. I love her so much.
I don't.
That threw me off.
Yeah, the voice was unexpected.
I love her so much.
We've even drawn up the deed already. We will grant you honor, status, some of our home cooking. Have you made your choice? Will you serve under us?
This makes me feel uncomfortable.
No thanks.
Out of curiosity, Arya, do you know what happens when you press OK?
No idea. Press it, see what happens.
Say first, say
I'm
first,
pretty
say
sure it's
first,
one of
say
those
first,
cases where
say
he
first.
goes, no, I can't do that.
I can't save.
Damn.
Damn. I don't want to risk it. Okay.
Oh, did you think I was being serious? Sorry, I was just messing with you.
I should probably would have said that either way. Wait, what?
Yeah, probably.
It's been so long since I've had an audience. Even I'm not sure what kind of role I'm supposed to play.
That voice feels so much better.
This is the mastermind? She's the real Junko Enoshima.
Anyway, looks like I've finally been set free. Having to play Monokuma all the time, day after day. It was like I was stuck in purgatory. Or like a slow suicide. I get bored so easy, you know?
Your face.
Huh? What about my face? What's wrong with my beautiful face? People have told me I'm cuter than 100 chihuahuas combined.
I feel
That's not a compliment. Chihuahuas are ugly dogs.
But they make funny noises if you run them over with a shopping cart.
Jesus Christ, Deadly.
I mean, that's the only good thing you can do with a chihuahua.
Listen. In German, we actually have a word for dogs of that size, which is Trethupe, which essentially translates to something like foot car horn, because they make funny noises when you step on them.
No, I do remember seeing it. I'm sure I've seen her too somewhere. It was definitely before I got to this school.
It was before I got to the school.
Before arriving at school.
Chat. I wonder what the answer is.
Watch it not be that.
I got it. That's right.
I just would have loved that.
Came to this school. I remember seeing a magazine cover. And you were on it.
That's why she looks so different.
Wow, you have a pretty good memory. I guess that's why you've made it this far, huh?
So I was right. Then what you told me in the main hall when this all began.
I've seen her on tons of magazine covers, but I feel like that doesn't quite match up to reality.
Huh? Oh, are you talking about my cover photos and junk? Well, of course. Those are totally photoshopped.
Photoshopped?
Yeah, you know, edited to hell and back with like computers and junk.
So they aren't real?
Sometimes a little lie is necessary to keep things moving along. Wouldn't you agree?
That explains why she didn't quite seem the same. Because she was a different person all along.
I'm me. And Mukuro is Mukuro. She tried her best. But there's just no way she could have passed as the ultimate fashionista. Two people can never become one as long as the walls of mind and body exist. Not even if they're twins.
Twins!
I know, it's such a cliche, right? I'm almost embarrassed to admit it. So basically, Mukuro and I had your stereotypical twin relationship. The older sister, tough and proud. That was Mukuro. The younger sister, smart and cute. That was...
Me! Junko fucking Enoshima!
What the fuck is going on?
I love it so
She
much.
has the tongue too.
I love it so much. I love her so much.
And together, we were the Despair Sisters, aka the Ultimate Despair!
Whoa! She's a totally different person now.
Like I said,
Why has she got all metal?
easy as hell. I even get fucking bored with myself. But if you're twins, why do you have different last names? Oh, that again? You have any idea how many times people ask me that shit? Maybe it's new to your dumb ass, but it bores me to tears. Answering the same questions over and over? Just make up whatever answer you want. I don't give a shit. The truth's fucking lame anyway.
But if she was your twin, that means...
And for reasons deeper and darker than the ocean. Ha! As if.
Well, I suppose I'd better explain.
What?
Wow. Hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
Answers, anyone? I'm
While I planned
listening.
to work, someone had to be able to control the killing game from behind the scenes. The so-called mastermind had to operate Monokuma, keep an eye on everyone, things like that. But after looking at the situation, I determined it would be impossible for Mukuro to perform such duties. Because naturally, she turned out to be the letdown of the family. Leaving me behind to run off and join some band of mercenaries.
Oh, damn.
Such a disappointment. So, I decided to play the role of director and have her join the rest of you in your school life. I could have let her work alongside me, but she would have been useless to me that way. Besides, 15 students seemed like a solid number to start with. Of course,
The fact that she was the ultimate soldier posed something of a problem. She had what I call the 3 atrocities. Atrociously ranked, atrociously filthy, atrociously repulsive.
Ouch. Also, there you go. There's your fan service for the night.
Thank you, Star.
There you go. There you go, chat. Take your screenshots.
It was atrociously clear just how out of touch she was with the rest of society. Meanwhile, my ultimate fashionista status has an undeniable appeal that I didn't want to go
The
to
thing
waste.
is, mine wasn't even the outfit, it was the glasses and ponytail.
And that's why you switched identities?
Sadly, her inability to match my personality was even greater than I'd calculated. It was a lost cause. She was nothing more than a bit player, an extra unworthy of lines. Being the utter disappointment that she was, anyone would have expected her to get killed off right away. Which is precisely why I killed her, to meet everyone's expectations.
That can't be your only reason, can it?
Well, no, of course not. I also did it to avoid becoming bored.
I've never been a stickler for following a plan to the letter, you know? If I planned everything out and knew just what was gonna happen, that'd be so boring.
I just want to know if this is the same voice actress.
To use Mukuro to
I
make
think so.
I'm pretty sure it is.
In other words, Mukuro's death was a one-sided, premeditated act of betrayal.
Because this is impressive.
Just as I suspected. When
That's
Mukuro
voice
was
actors for
killed,
you.
She must
Yeah.
have been as surprised as anybody else.
Huh?
Huh?
This
This
wasn't.
wasn't. Oh.
Do you want to do
I'm
it?
so used for me being the only one to talk during trials.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You can be.
No.
You can be.
Nope.
You be Mukuro. No, you are
Nope.
Mukuro now. I've cast you.
Nope.
I've cast you.
Arya hasn't.
Arya.
What star size goes to?
Come on, Mika.
Fuck off, Horizon.
Why me? I don't do it.
So, you figured it out? Well, you're right. There's no way Mukuro could have pulled off such a convincing performance. But she did teach you all a very valuable lesson, don't you think?
How can you talk like that? You sacrificed your own sister. How does that not even bother you?
What? I sacrificed her? That's what's got you so hot under the collar? Jeez, misunderstandings sure are scary. We were the
Heroes.
ultimate despair, you know? So we never had any kind of hope or expectations. Nope, I felt despair as long as I can remember. Like I never should have been born at all. When I was
Heroes
born,
and Tina's
I
faces
cried
just
tears
say,
of total despair.
I want
yeah,
to
they have-
please
they have-
stand in another position.
I know, I'm like, they have to stand next to them.
So that's why for us, it's not a big deal whether we die or kill. We're just those kinds of people. We can do anything. We've always been filled with despair. So when we do something, we go all the way and live without regret. So you just murdered your own sister and didn't think anything of it? That's not true at all. We were twins. How could I not be sad? That's why it gets me so excited. Huh?
Wait, is there mushrooms growing out of her head?
Mushrooms growing out of her head, yes.
Killing my
Yeah.
precious
Everybody,
sister
please
with my
please
own
hold
2
Hero in
hands.
space. And in his place, we have to make sure that he doesn't start licking on them.
Oh my goodness.
That act is filled with so much despair. You can't help but put a super in front of it. It's like super, 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 super despair. No, more than that. Super, 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 super despair. It just feels so good.
What the hell is wrong with you?
And my sister too. In that moment of death, I think she must have felt that despair. After all, to be murdered by your own sister, and only as an example to someone else, she must have died feeling such excruciating hopelessness. I'm so jealous of her. Super jealous.
I knew you couldn't be just some ordinary person. You're some kind of abnormality.
Turning your own despair into some kind of fetish. Abnormality doesn't even begin to describe it.
Like, Genocide Jill is crazy for sure, but this is a whole nother level of nuts!
You're saying I don't compare to some lowly
It's
beast
peanuts.
that can only kill the weak, right? So I'm hopelessly attractive, hopelessly brilliant, hopelessly athletic. I'm the hopelessly perfect ultimate human.
No. I don't think there's anything perfect about anything you just said.
Yeah, Master's way more perfect. Cause on top of everything else, he's got that noble blood. Huh? Don't you mean had that noble blood?
What did you just say? What do you mean by that?
You still haven't figured that part out yet? Man, you guys are so slow! You haven't even solved all the mysteries, and yet here you are, yapping away!
I hear it and I immediately have been like, it's Emmy.
Okay, this is start part 2. Okay, since this is the start of part 2, I think we will go ahead and save here.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I think we will save here.
Oh.
And Happy will come back next week. I think I'll have you come back next week. One last thing we'll do, yes. Come back next week for finishing up the game. This is very exciting. There we go. There's that. There's that. There we go. Alrighty. Thank you very, very much. I'm so excited, you guys. I hope you're excited too. I hope you're also very excited for what is to come. And what's gonna happen. Thank you all very much for joining me. Oh boy. Sleepy start time again. So it looks like we ended just in time, huh? Let me look at what is coming up. So tomorrow we're doing The Walking Dead. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So please join in for the spoops tomorrow. Lots of spoops. And then Friday we're doing some Minecraft. Hopefully with Arya and hopefully maybe with some T-Fit as well. We'll see. And Saturday I'm taking off. So it's gonna be a fun rest of the week. Oh no. No. Angie. Angie Star. Angie. Okay. Wait, speaking of... Actually, this person that we rated last time, we rated a while ago, who was relatively funny, I think. I remember I followed them. They were relatively funny. I'm pretty sure, but we're gonna actually You know what? In honor of Minecraft, because I'm obsessed with Minecraft now, you guys. I have so much to show you next stream. I finished the bubble. I made a basement. There's gonna be lots and lots of new things. Yeah, lots of new things. I'm excited.
Made the basement or remade it?
Shut up.
That's such a typical Minecraft thing as well. Like first stream, okay, we've just started out. We've done a little bit. Next stream we'll continue on
Next
what we were
stream,
working
hey,
on. Next stream, I've completed my base. I've got full diamond gear. I'm
next week. Hey, I've created the entire United States.
Yeah, that's so typical Minecraft.
Oh my goodness.
Let's do a little bit
Let's go enjoy some Minecraft together. Tifa's playing on our server. I love you all very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.